When you cross the age of 60, many people will try to convince you that decline is inevitable. They'll tell you it's normal to feel tired all the time, to lose your drive, to accept the slow erosion of your strength and vitality. But I want you to challenge that belief right here, right now, because the truth is, aging is not the problem. It's the way we fuel and care for our bodies that determines how we live after 60. And one of the most overlooked yet powerful tools you have is hidden in something as simple as what you eat every single day. Think about it. Most men at this stage of life are dealing with declining testosterone, weaker bones, fading muscle mass, and lower energy levels. You wake up some mornings and the body feels stiff. You try to push yourself in the gym or even on a simple walk, and the recovery feels harder than it used to. But let me tell you something, this doesn't have to be your story. Science is clear. Nutrition can literally flip the script on how your body responds to aging. And that's why the role of nuts, the right ones, becomes so critical. Now, when you hear the word nutrition, it might feel overwhelming. You might think of complicated diets, endless restrictions, or the latest supplement trends, but the beauty of this message is its simplicity. Just a handful of the right nuts, eaten consistently, can supply your body with the exact fuel it needs to restore balance, protect your hormones, and recharge your energy reserves. These aren't exotic foods you have to travel across the world to find. They're right there in your grocery store, waiting to become part of your daily routine. The silent power of nutrition lies in the fact that it doesn't shout, it whispers. You may not notice the difference on the very first day, but give your body the right tools and it begins to thank you quietly. Your joints ache less, your mind feels sharper, your energy doesn't crash in the afternoon like it used to. And as the weeks pass, you suddenly realize you feel younger than you did a year ago. That is the gift of fueling your body with the right foods, and that is why this conversation matters so much. You see, nuts are not just snacks. They are nutrient-dense powerhouses loaded with healthy fats, proteins, minerals, and compounds that directly affect your body's ability to fight inflammation, maintain lean muscle, and support testosterone production. For men over 60, this is not optional, it's essential. Every day, your body is either moving toward health or away from it, and the foods you choose are the steering wheel. By reaching for the right handful, you're not just eating, you're making a choice to fight back against the myth that aging equals weakness. And here's the key, it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Imagine waking up at 65 or 70 with the kind of energy that makes you excited to move, to work out, to play with your grandkids, to travel, to live fully. That kind of vitality doesn't come by chance. It comes by intention. It comes by making small, powerful choices every single day, like putting the right nuts into your diet and avoiding the wrong ones. So, as we go deeper into this journey together, I want you to remember this. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of age. You have tools at your fingertips, tools that can change the trajectory of your health starting today. And it all begins with the silent but unstoppable power of nutrition. Your body is listening to every choice you make, and it's ready to reward you when you give it what it truly needs. Now let's talk about one of the most important realities that every man over 60 must face. Your body's hormones are shifting, and one of the key players in this shift is testosterone. It's no secret that testosterone fuels strength, energy, drive, and even your sense of confidence. But here's what's shocking. Studies show that after 30, testosterone levels can drop by 1% every single year. By the time you hit 60, You may already feel that decline showing up in your daily life: less energy in the morning, slower recovery after exercise, and a drive that doesn't feel as sharp as it once did. But here's the truth: you don't have to accept this decline as permanent. You can take steps to nourish your body in a way that naturally supports testosterone production. And this is where nuts come into the picture in a powerful way. Certain nuts, when chosen wisely, are packed with the exact nutrients your body needs to help protect and even restore healthy testosterone levels. Think of nutrients like zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats. These aren't just buzzwords. They are the raw materials your body uses to create and sustain testosterone. If your diet is missing them, your hormone levels can't function at their best. But when you give your body these building blocks consistently, it responds. Slowly at first, then more noticeably, you begin to feel a shift. I want you to imagine this for a second. You start making a small, daily change, adding a handful of the right nuts into your diet. Within weeks, you notice your morning energy is sharper. That foggy feeling that used to hang over you when you woke up begins to lift. You walk into your day with a clearer sense of focus, and when it's time to move your body, whether in the gym, on a walk, or even just climbing stairs, you feel stronger. That's not coincidence. That's the science of nutrition at work, supporting your hormones and giving your body what it has been craving all along. But let me be clear, not all nuts are created equal. While some of them are a powerhouse for men's health, others can actually do the opposite, interfering with testosterone and dragging your energy down. This is why knowledge is power. By knowing which ones to prioritize and which ones to avoid, you can literally shift the trajectory of your health and vitality. You're not shooting in the dark. You're making targeted, intentional choices that directly impact how you feel, how you age, and how you live. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. It can't really be that simple. How could something as small as a handful of nuts make a difference at my age? And I want to challenge that belief. Great change never starts with something massive. It starts with small, consistent actions that compound over time. Just like saving money, if you put away a little bit every day, it grows into something powerful over the years. Your health works the same way. By choosing foods that fuel your hormones, you are investing in your future strength, energy, and confidence. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about building a stronger version of yourself at this stage of life. It's about proving to yourself that 60 is not the end of the road. It's simply another chapter, and you get to decide how that chapter is written. When you fuel your hormones with the right nutrients, you are writing a story of vitality, resilience, and power. The truth is, testosterone is not just about muscles or masculinity. It's about your quality of life. It's about the energy you bring into every single day, the sharpness of your mind, and the drive to keep moving forward. And the right foods can be the spark that reignites that fire within you. Your hormones are listening to the choices you make, and when you choose wisely, your body rewards you with energy, strength, and a renewed sense of life. When we talk about nutrition for men over 60, one of the biggest conversations we need to have is about heart health. Because here's the reality: your heart is not just an organ pumping blood. It's the engine that drives everything you do. The strength you feel when you get out of bed, the stamina you have when you walk with your grandchildren, even the clarity of your thoughts, all of it depends on how well your heart is working. And what most men don't realize is that some of the most powerful protectors of heart health are sitting right there in the palm of your hand: nuts. The right nuts provide your body with omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and plant sterols that help lower bad cholesterol and keep your arteries clear. Think about that for a moment. Every beat of your heart is pushing life into your body, and if those pathways are clogged, every beat becomes harder work. That's why so many men over 60 struggle with fatigue or shortness of breath. It's not age alone, it's the health of those blood vessels. Now picture what happens when you start nourishing your heart with foods that actively clean and support those pathways. Instead of straining, your heart beats more efficiently. Instead of dragging through the day, you feel lighter, more energized, more alive. Let me share this with you. Research has shown that men who regularly consume healthy nuts experience significant improvements in blood flow and blood pressure. That means your body is getting oxygen and nutrients more effectively, fueling every cell with the energy it needs. You're not just surviving, you're thriving because your foundation, your heart, is strong, and it doesn't require a complicated regimen. It's as simple as a daily habit, a small choice that builds over time into something life-changing. Now, here's where the motivation comes in. I want you to think about why heart health matters to you personally. Is it about being around longer for your spouse? Is it about having the energy to play with your grandchildren without feeling winded? Or maybe it's about regaining the independence and confidence that you felt slipping away? Whatever your reason is, that reason can be your fuel. Because when you commit to caring for your heart, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. And here's the most inspiring part. Your heart is remarkably resilient. Even at 60, 70, or beyond, it responds to your choices. When you cut out the foods that harm it and bring in the ones that heal, your heart doesn't just stabilize, it starts to recover, to strengthen, to work more efficiently. That's why incorporating the right nuts into your daily diet is more than just a nutritional tip. It's a declaration. It's you saying, I'm not done yet. I still have more to give, more to experience, more to enjoy. Some of you might feel like it's too late, that the damage has already been done. But let me tell you something powerful. It's never too late to make a positive change. Your body is designed to heal, to adapt, to respond. Every bite of heart-healthy food is like an investment, a deposit into your long-term vitality account. The earlier you start, the bigger the payoff. But even if you start now, at 60 or older, you will see and feel the difference. This is not just about avoiding illness. This is about reclaiming your energy, your vitality, your strength. When you nourish your heart, you unlock the ability to live fully again without being held back by fatigue, fear, or fragility. The power to change how you feel and how you live is already in your hands. You just have to choose it. One of the most overlooked benefits of certain nuts is how powerfully they can support brain health. And men over 60 need to hear this because, let's be honest, it's not just about living longer. It's about staying sharp, focused, and mentally strong while you're living those extra years. What good is having more time if your memory fades, if your clarity dims, if you can't enjoy the conversations, the learning, and the wisdom you've gathered throughout your life? That's where nutrition plays such a vital role, and the right nuts can make a surprising difference. Inside your brain are billions of neurons constantly firing, sending signals, and creating the thoughts, memories, and decisions that make you who you are. But over time, oxidative stress, inflammation, and poor circulation begin to slow that process down. That's when you start noticing forgetfulness, mental fatigue, or trouble concentrating. The good news is that nuts like walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts contain compounds that directly fight these challenges. They're loaded with antioxidants, vitamin E, healthy fats, and polyphenols that protect your neurons, reduce inflammation, and improve blood flow to the brain. Think of them as brain fuel, simple, natural, and powerful. Imagine this: instead of feeling mentally sluggish in the afternoon, you feel alert and sharp. Instead of struggling to recall names or small details, you find yourself remembering them with ease. That's not just chance. That's the result of feeding your brain the nutrients it thrives on. It's like tuning up a car that's been running rough. Suddenly it's smoother, faster, more reliable. And at this stage of life, that clarity gives you confidence. Confidence to keep working if you want to, confidence to take on new hobbies, confidence to stay socially connected without feeling like you're falling behind. And there's something else powerful here. Brain health isn't just about memory, it's about mood. Studies have shown that omega-3 fatty acids and certain vitamins in nuts can actually improve emotional stability and reduce the risk of depression. Think about what that means. Not only do you stay sharp, but you also feel lighter, more optimistic, more resilient in the face of challenges. At 60 and beyond, that emotional strength is just as important as physical strength because it drives your motivation to keep going, to keep growing. Now, I know some of you may be skeptical. You're thinking, can eating a handful of nuts every day really make that much difference? And the answer is yes, because consistency compounds. It's not about one handful, it's about what happens when you do it every single day, week after week, year after year. That steady supply of nutrients builds up a defense system inside your brain that protects you from decline and keeps you performing at your best. Picture yourself 10 years from now. Do you want to be the man who sits quietly, struggling to follow conversations? Or do you want to be the man who is still telling stories, still sharing wisdom, still engaging fully with the world around him? The choice is yours, and it starts with the small habits you build today. You have the ability to sharpen your focus, protect your memory, and maintain a sense of mental clarity that empowers you to enjoy life to the fullest. All it takes is the commitment to fuel your brain with what it needs most. The mind you strengthen today will carry you through the years ahead with power, resilience, and purpose. Now, let's talk about something most men don't think about until it becomes a real problem: heart health. Because here's the truth: if your heart isn't strong, nothing else matters. You can have energy, you can have muscle, you can even have sharp focus, but without a healthy heart, all of it is fragile. And the food choices you make every single day, especially the fats you put into your body, determine whether your heart becomes your greatest asset or your weakest link. That's where the right nuts come into play. Nuts like almonds, pistachios, and walnuts are nature's heart protectors. They're rich in healthy mono, unsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats. They help lower bad cholesterol, and they support the kind of steady blood flow your body thrives on. Think about it. Every beat of your heart is pumping life into every cell, every muscle, every organ. And when the pathways are clogged, when cholesterol levels rise, when inflammation takes hold, that system begins to break down. But when you make small, consistent choices, like eating a handful of nuts instead of reaching for processed snacks, you give your heart the strength it needs to keep powering you forward. Let's get real for a second. Many men over 60 worry about stamina, they worry about energy, they worry about longevity. And so often, the problem isn't that the body can't handle it, the problem is circulation. If your arteries are stiff, if your blood vessels are inflamed, if your cholesterol is building up, then no amount of willpower can make up for that. But the compounds in nuts actually open up those blood vessels. They make your circulation more efficient, they reduce the dangerous LDL cholesterol, and they raise the protective HDL cholesterol. It's like tuning your heart into a hyper-performance engine instead of letting it sputter along. And here's something even more inspiring. A strong heart doesn't just protect you from disease, it gives you freedom. Freedom to walk further without getting winded, freedom to climb stairs without feeling drained, freedom to play with your grandkids without worrying if your chest will tighten. That's what real health is about, not just avoiding illness, but living with strength, with confidence, with vitality. I want you to imagine what it feels like to know your heart is working for you, not against you. To wake up and feel energized, to move through your day with steady, powerful stamina, to look ahead at the years to come knowing you've built a foundation that will carry you forward. That's what these small changes create. You don't have to overhaul your life. You don't need complicated diets or impossible routines. It's about making smart, simple choices that add up over time, and one of the easiest is reaching for the foods that love your heart back. So when you think about the next decade, don't just ask yourself how many years you want to live. Ask yourself how strong you want those years to be. Do you want to live them with vitality, energy, and freedom? Or do you want to hold back because your body isn't supporting you? The answer lies in the choices you make now, and your heart is counting on you. The strength of your future depends on the strength of your heart, and every handful of the right nuts is an investment in the powerful life you deserve. Now, we can't talk about foods that fuel health without talking about the ones that steal it away. Because as much as certain nuts can give you energy, balance your hormones, and protect your heart, there are also a couple of culprits you need to watch out for. Nuts that may seem harmless but actually undermine your health, especially after 60. And this is where awareness makes all the difference. It's not just about what you add to your plate. It's also about what you leave off. Take peanuts, for example. They're one of the most commonly consumed nuts around the world, but the truth is, they're not even true nuts, they're legumes. And because of the way they're grown and stored, they carry a higher risk of mold contamination. That mold produces compounds called aflatoxins, which can quietly harm your liver and weaken your immune system over time. And let's be honest, most of the peanuts people eat aren't raw and clean. They're coated in salt, sugar, or processed oils. All of that adds up to inflammation in the body, and if your goal is vitality, inflammation is your number one enemy. Then there are cashews. Now, on the surface, cashews taste amazing. They feel luxurious, but here's what most people don't realize. Cashews are higher in oxalates. For older men, especially those who may already be dealing with kidney health concerns, high oxalates can increase the risk of kidney stones. And the last thing you need when you're working hard to stay strong and energized is a painful health setback that steals your focus and your energy. Cashews are also often roasted in unhealthy oils, which means instead of protecting your heart, they add unnecessary strain to it. This isn't about fear, it's about power. When you know what foods lift you up and what foods drag you down, you get to make decisions that keep you in control of your health. That's the real goal here. It's not about following rules blindly or living in restriction. It's about choosing the foods that give you strength, that fuel your energy, that keep you moving forward with confidence, while avoiding the ones that silently chip away at your foundation. And here's the bigger picture. Once you start noticing the difference between foods that fuel you and foods that drain you, you'll never want to go back. You'll feel the difference in your energy. You'll notice it in your digestion, in your stamina, even in your clarity of thought. Because your body is always talking to you, it's always giving feedback. When you eat the right nuts, you feel steady, strong, alive. When you eat the wrong ones, you may feel sluggish, inflamed, or weighed down. And the beauty is, You have the choice every single day to decide which path you want to take. So yes, add almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and Brazil nuts to your life. Let them work as allies in your journey toward longevity and strength. But also have the wisdom to say no to peanuts and cashews when they show up as easy snacks, because the easy choice now often becomes the hard consequence later. And I know you're not here to settle for less. You're here to live with power, with purpose, with health that doesn't just carry you into your 60s, but beyond. Every bite you take is either building your strength or breaking it down. And when you're over 60, you can't afford to gamble with that choice.